Okay, what's going on, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video. We're looking at Atlas, okay? Now, we are looking at a bloodbath, okay? Down 98% from its highs. This thing has absolutely been obliterated, and I'm going to give you guys a realistic expectation of what to expect in 2023, and you're going to learn a lot in this video about the market cycles, okay? There's always going to be market cycles. We'll break it down for you guys, so make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, because I'm dropping content like this every single week, dropping anywhere from 5 to 15 videos, and we're going to jump straight into it. So let's take a look at a very important chart right here, the Wall Street cheat sheet, psychology of a market cycle. And what this does is this really breaks down for you guys how things work, right? So you have your quick rally up to euphoria, okay? And it's no secret that Bitcoin, Star Atlas, Axie Infinity, right? All of these metaverse games and all of these play to earn games and NFT related games, they all hit the euphoria cycle, okay? It's no secret that we're past there. But I want you to realize is that this is one of the quickest parts, and this is one of the quickest parts, right? The rally up to euphoria is going to be very, very quick, and the capitulation cycle is also going to be very quick. The largest and longest part of the cycle is in between here, guys. It's in between panic, capitulation, anger, all right, and depression, all right? This is going to be the longest section, and I think 2023 is going to look a lot like this. Now, if we take a look back at the chart, we've already started to really start this phase out. So there is a chance potentially, hey, we could bottom in 2023. None of this is financial advice, and I'm not telling you guys to go and buy this because it's going to go to the moon. But if you're interested in Star Atlas, most likely that's the reason you're watching this video. So I want you to have some realistic expectations. We're somewhere in between panic, capitulation, anger, and depression. Eventually, we will get disbelief, right? What I want you to realize is that disbelief is also the end and the beginning of the next cycle, right? So disbelief will take us out of depression, okay? And it'll bring us, after we get that disbelief rally where everyone says, hey, this is a sucker's rally and people are just scarred and scorned by their investments, right? They're going to think it's a sucker's rally and that this rally will fail like the others. And then it starts to build hope, optimism, belief, thrill, and euphoria. And we'll go into those a little bit more, but let's take a look at the actual chart again, right? If we take a look, we can clearly see that we've already, had multiple capitulations in this, right? We've had lots of panic, we had capitulations in here, we haven't panic, and it looks like we've started that phase in between panic, capitulation, and depression, right? And once we hit those depression prices where people are pretty much completely done with the crypto market, that's when we can get a chance to start to get our disbelief rally, okay, and potentially start the cycle back over, eventually hitting euphoria cycles in the next bull market once we reach those euphoria highs. And then the market will top out at euphoria and repeat this process over and over again. This is why it's called the Wall Street cheat sheet, is because this is really what's been going on throughout history. It's been working on Bitcoin, and it's also worked on the various other markets throughout time. So, let's not focus on euphoria too much because that was in the past, right? And we all know about that. And if you didn't make money on the ride up to euphoria, then it's going to be really hard for you guys to try to, make money in this cycle right here. And so you need to have some realistic expectations for 2023 that we could potentially make new lows and that it could actually last a very, very long time before we hit full depression. Now, let's go over this bearish cycle over here. So euphoria right here, everyone says, I'm a genius. We're all going to be rich. And you have thrill. I will buy more on margin. Got to tell everyone to buy. This is Michael Saylor. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. If you haven't, he was basically going out and during the thrill cycle, he's the definition of thrill and euphoria. This guy took tons of his company's money, MicroStrategy, which is a stock, and invested lots of it into Bitcoin near the top, right? Pretty much bought the top. And he's out there, at events telling everyone the best thing you can do is to go to your grandma, tell your grandma to buy Bitcoin, tell your grandpa to buy Bitcoin, find a neighbor and tell them to buy Bitcoin, right? And he's doing this because he's making lots of money and made lots of money on the rally up. but he's also buying the top, right? He's at peak euphoria and he says, I'm a genius, we're all going to be rich, which is the reason why he's telling everyone to buy. Now, what happens is we get complacency over here, right? Where you have your sharp pullback and then we really start to consolidate for a little bit. This is where companies like Three Arrows Capital, who also fell victim to all of these things, to thrill and euphoria, this is where they're saying we just need to cool off for the next rally, right? Because they're expecting things to just keep going up and keep going up forever and ever, and it's never going to ever drop, and the market cycle is never going to reverse, and it's only going to go straight up. This is how they got liquidated, right? This is how companies like BlockFi, Genesis, you look at Voyager, all of these companies, they start this is where they're buying in, right? So, and not only are they buying back in, but they're buying back in on leverage, guys. These people were not using any risk management and they're just going and buying and using insane amounts of leverage. Then after complacency, you get the anxiety phase, right? And it says, why am I getting margin calls? This is where you're starting to see those large hedge funds and all of these institutions that are over leveraging on Bitcoin, over leveraging on cryptocurrency. They're getting margin called, right? And not only are they getting margin called, they're going bankrupt. Then you have retail right here in denial. The next phase. My investments are with great companies, with great projects, great tokens. They will come back, right? And you have people denying this massive capitulation right here, this massive move to the downside. Then you get panic, right? And a lot of this panic we just recently experienced with FTX collapsing, right? With Luna collapsing. There was lots of panic in the market and capitulation. Capitulation right here, you says I'm getting 100% out of the markets. I can't afford to lose more. And a lot of the people that got burned by Luna, a lot of the people that got burned by FTX, those people have completely left the market and most likely aren't coming back, whether there's another bull market or not. The reason being is they had so much money invested, right? Whether it's their life savings, whether it's a retirement account, or whether they're not wealthy and it's really just all they had to their name, right? All they really could afford, and they were really trying to get rich. They lost all of their money. And so they're just completely at 100% out of the market and most likely not coming back. Now, after the capitulation phase, you get anger and it starts to say, who shorted the market? Why did the government allow this to happen? Right. And, that's exactly what we're seeing right now in the markets. We're seeing lots of people calling out the governments, right? Global governments, the US government. How could you guys let Sam Bankman fraud go ahead and steal everyone's money? How do you guys let this happen where people's wealth is just being evaporated into thin air? Not even evaporated, just in his case completely stolen. But there's many other instances where the money just evaporated, right? You put 10 grand in there, put 100 grand in there, put $1 million. We just took a look at the price of this and it's down 98%. You're left with nothing. You're left with pennies on the dollar. So, it's a lot of devastation. And we're somewhere in between these phases here, guys. We're somewhere around panic, capitulation, anger, and depression. There's no guarantees where we are in the cycle, but see and emphasize how this is the largest and longest part of the cycle is this phase right here. And this is the most brutal phase. But if you look in the long run, right? And again, this isn't financial advice. I'm not trying to shill this coin out on you guys and tell you if you buy this right now, 10 years from now, you're going to be a millionaire. What I'm doing is I'm giving you some realistic expectations for 2023 that most likely we're in this phase and it's going to be pretty brutal if you're expecting some massive gains, massive gains anytime soon, right? The big likelihood is we're somewhere in this phase and you need to do some research. You need to follow up on projects that you're the most bullish on, things that you have the most potential in the future, and start slowly accumulating, right? You've got all of 2023, whether the price goes up, whether the price goes down, it's going to do that, right? It's not going to move directly sideways. It's going to have a swing up. It's going to have a swing down. It's going to have a swing up, down, up, down, up, down. It's going to go up and down until we get that big disbelief rally that will end our depression phase and actually restart the phase of euphoria by giving us a little bit of hope, optimism, belief, thrill, and then euphoria, right? So that's it for today's video. Just really wanted to emphasize and show you guys what the chart looks like on the Wall Street cheat sheet with the psychology of a market cycle. If you take a look, we're definitely you know, in somewhere in between capitulation, anger, and all of that, right? And we're trading sideways, and most likely we're going to trade sideways, make some new lows, pop up, trade sideways until we get that nice disbelief rally, which will start the cycle all over again. And until then, it's going to be painful. So if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'm dropping content like this every single week. So if you enjoyed it, you know, I'm dropping anywhere from about 5 to 15 videos a week, and you can look forward to that consistently on a consistent basis.